All right, today is October the 18th, Monday, 2 weeks and a day before we have an election in the United States of America, and in Jackson County and DeKalb County. I've got 2 or 3 things that happened this weekend. It was interesting, and also got a little chalkboard thing here to go over. What I'd like to do is say that it seems that we need to thank the people for alienating so many voters, for putting these negative ads out, that it seems that a lot of people are doing that and saying they know where it came from. If there's a situation and somebody has cheated somebody, we've got a judicial branch of the government that takes care of that instead of a political person that promotes it with a couple of $100,000. But I believe that they put old Burr Rabbit in the briar patch. I believe it's backfired on them. I think there's several places in Proverbs and Psalms that the Bible talks about that people set a trap, evil men set a trap, and the Lord lets them get caught up in it themselves. A lot of people told me Saturday that's what they're doing to that, because they know that that's not the way you do business. And if a man's got something he's running for, he ought to tell you what he's doing, not about something like this that's all contrived. And we're smart enough. I think on this tape, I've made the comment that this is the election that we woke up. We woke up to that. So, Mr. Barron, spend that hard-earned money, our hard-earned money, that you've slipped however you've got it, buying all of this stuff. Why did you pick this one person out? Of all the court cases in Jackson County and DeKalb County for the last 26 years you've been in office, you picked one case. You are a hoot, and you're toast. You are toast. Now, let's talk about you. We're going to get you a new job. So that's what my little chalkboard thing is. I want people to understand a little bit about you. Now, you talk about somebody here with a few $1,000s. We're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars that have landed in your bank account. Now, let's just look at this from an economic standpoint. And I think we've got you a job, because you're fixing to lose the one you got. Senate pay, last 26 years, been about $30,000. Got a raise not long ago, went up a little bit. Job expenses, you got to go down there, you got to pay for your room, your travel, your food and everything while you're in session, is what I understand. Estimate that $18,000, so you've netted $12,000 a year from that job. 12 months, that's $1,000 a month. That's not much. Now you got to take out family expenses, car payment, house payment, groceries, gas, tires, car, house maintenance, children's education, clothing, utilities, taxes, and entertainment. Lap dances at the Pink Pony. Now then, children's education. The Bible says a man that won't take care of his family is an infidel. Can you take care of your family on $1,000 a month? Lowell? John? Don't think so. Don't think you can. Couldn't 26 years ago, and you couldn't last year. Now then. So here's where we are. I understand from people that have talked to Lowell that he's worth $400 million. He's not worth anything, but he's got that much in the bank in assets. So, if Lowell Barron has been able to take $1,000 a month, save enough out of it after he's used all of this, spent all of this money to educate his children, clothe them, utilities, taxes, and his entertainment down at Gulf Shores or wherever he goes, if he does all of that, and he can accumulate $400 $200 million. All right, now here's what's going to happen. I put on here estimated estate for 2010 for Senator Lowell Barron. Okay? Now then, Senator's gone in 15 days. But we've got something he can do. We just put ex-senator right there. Now, what he can do, and I think this is exactly what the country needs, is we can take him and we can send him and move him to Washington, D.C. And he can become czar. Z-A-R, I guess. I don't know how you spell czar. I didn't know anybody had any. But Czar Lowell Barron, economic advisor to President Obama for 2011 and 2012. Now think about this. If a man can take $1,000 and do this with it, what can he do with the federal income per month? We don't know how far that goes. And he applies the same principles that he can put here in his economic plan. Here's what we can have. In 2011 and 2012, Czar Barron, he will, with his economics, Mr. Barron's economics, he could pay off the national debt in 2 years and have a surplus by 2013. Solve our economic problems. And he wants to talk about this kind of stuff. The only legal case he's been involved in since he's been in office. The courts will take care of this. Chad McGill, just a businessman, he's done the right thing. Why did these people show up the month of the election? We're not stupid. We've been slow for a while, but we're not stupid. I had people tell me that all over Jackson County, Saturday and Sunday when I was out giving out cards. They must think we're the stupidest people in the world. Lowell's bunch, the Loyalist. Lowell, you elected Shadrach McGill right there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really, really in my heart believe that you elected him right there. I think we could have beat you without it, but it may be a 2-1 now. I'd like to see you get beat 3-1. Now, I'm running as a write-in candidate. I've shown you this before against John Robinson, 23rd District. I'd like for you to write my name in, mark the era, and Shad and I'll go to Montgomery, and we'll do more the first week for the people than's been done in the last 26 years. I'd walk home, I believe, if I couldn't. Shad McGill, Senator Shad McGill. You can just write it down. Senator Shad McGill. One man stood up, tried to get bought back. Somebody. Could have been Lowell Barron, sent somebody to offer some money for Shad to drop out of the race. He couldn't be bought. He can't be bought. I can't be bought. We're fixing to change it. We're taking the oppression off of Jackson into Cobb County. And Lowell, we're going to send you right straight up as an economic advisor for President Obama, and we want you to solve our national debt. No problem. Might set up you some loan shark places while you're up there. All right. A couple of things that happened this weekend. I had people tell me that they were so sick and tired of anybody that ever been in office. I hadn't told you a whole lot about what I'll do, but I'm going to put legislation in to limit terms, do things that we need as businesses. What has happened? I'm a businessman. I talked to a lot of business people this weekend. It has eroded to the point that we feel like, us business people, feel like we create the jobs. I have employees, a lot of these people have employees, that this thing has happened instead of what the government's purpose is to protect us from people within our country harming each other and people from outside. That's the government's purpose. The government now is into real estate. It's into everything. It's now a businessman. It's a fight against the government. I really believe that. So, why I'm here today and why I'm taking this time is I'm tired of professional paid politicians. You might have guessed that if you watched any of my tapes. I'm real tired. But I'm going to tell you something. The people I've talked to, it's way, way over 50% are sick and tired. I believe we'll wake up on November the 3rd, and it's going to be like an avalanche. There's going to be incumbents running for the House because the votes are going to wear them out, both parties. You've not taken care of us working middle-class people, and we've generated the wealth. All of us that get up at 5 o'clock and they go work in these plants, we've generated the wealth in this country. We keep that money turning, we keep that cycle of taxes going, and we feel raped. We feel like we have been just insulted, raped, and everything else. The worm has turned, the tide has turned. It's going to be unbelievable. I'm out there. I've just been out there in these two little counties. They surprised me because a lot of people vote Democrat. You cannot imagine how many men and women, husband and wife, have walked up to me. I've had Shad sign on, and they'd say, nobody in our family has ever crossed the line, but I'm voting for that Republican right there. Now, I'm telling you, come on and get us November the 3rd. Shad and I are going to Montgomery. We woke up. And we're going to send our financial advisor, ex-Senator Lowell Barron, to Washington, D.C. I've been telling people if you vote for Lowell, I don't want you to write my name on the ballot. I don't even want to live in the same district with him. Send him to Washington. He'd make a good czar. I believe that's what he is, Czar Barron. Doesn't that sound good? Czar Barron. And all you loyalists, now you're going to have to hide because there's going to be Shadrach and Meshach. And we jumped in the fire for you. There's somebody else in the fire with us, too. We're looking for godly people to change the ungodly political atmosphere that has evolved into my country, into my county, into my community. Thank you, Lowell. We'll take these over here and put them in the garbage can. That's where they started. It's from a garbage head. And I'm going to put them in the garbage can. And there's a lot of them in the garbage can right now. See ya.